It began with subtle shifts in my wife's behavior. She started coming home later than usual, dressing up more carefully for work, and treating her phone as if it contained state secrets. I tried convincing myself it was just pressure from the office, but deep inside, something told me otherwise. One evening, when she claimed she had a late meeting, I made a choice. I followed her. Well, I saw a twist in my stomach. She wasn't with coworkers. She was with her boss. From the driver's seat of my car, I watched her lean toward him, laughing like a girl on her first date. My chest felt like it was caving in, but I stayed composed. Rage wouldn't fix this. I needed proof. Over the next few weeks, I gathered everything. Screenshots of their texts, photos of their dinners, even recordings of whispered calls. I knew her facade would eventually crack, and I'd be prepared when it did. That moment arrived sooner than I thought. One night, after returning from yet another supposed meeting, she looked straight into my eyes and said with boldness I'd never seen in her before, "I slept with your boss. That's why you can't touch me." Then came her laugh, sharp, cruel, like a blade across my skin. She walked out of the room as if she'd just claimed victory in a twisted contest. My fists clenched, but instead of confronting her, I smiled quietly. She had no clue what storm was already forming around her. The very next morning, I went to her boss's office. He was the polished type, a respected executive, married, admired by everyone. I placed an envelope on his desk filled with evidence I had collected. "I wonder what your wife would say if she saw all of this," I said evenly. His face drained of color. Sweat gathered at his hairline. He tried to speak but stuttered into silence. I gave him a week, either confess to his wife or I'd do it for him. Then I left him in his panic and returned home, waiting for the inevitable. Meanwhile, my wife strutted around as if she were untouchable, bragging to her friends on the phone about how much control she had over me thanks to her affair. She didn't realize her castle of lies was already collapsing. On the 7th day, I made my move. I invited his wife to our home, telling her it was urgent. When she arrived, I handed her a folder filled with photos, messages, and recordings. She didn't break down in tears. Her eyes burned with fury. She thanked me, assured me she knew exactly how to handle her cheating husband, and left. That same evening, hell broke loose. She stormed into his office with the evidence, making such a scene that the directors themselves had to step in. His spotless reputation shattered instantly. The story raced through the company. Everyone now knew he had been sleeping with my wife. Within days, he was suspended while the investigation unfolded. My wife came home livid, screaming that I had destroyed her future. She yelled about how close she had been to getting promoted through him. I listened in silence, then pulled out divorce papers. Her jaw dropped. "You think you can just leave me?" she shrieked. I smiled. "No, you're the one leaving." I had already spoken with a lawyer. With undeniable proof of her betrayal, I was free to walk away untouched, while she walked away with nothing. No money, no house, no support. Everything she thought she would gain by cheating vanished. She begged, wept, even threatened, but I was finished. I reminded her that the cruel laughter she threw in my face when she admitted her affair would be the last laugh she'd ever get at my expense. "Now it's my turn," I told her coldly. Her boss lost his position. His wife filed for divorce and stripped him of nearly everything. My wife's name became poison, known as the woman who wrecked 2 marriages and ruined a man's career. No reputable company would hire her. Friends distanced themselves, family disowned her, and her so-called power dissolved into nothing. I, on the other hand, rebuilt. I poured myself into work and earned a promotion, one achieved with integrity, not manipulation. People respected me for the calm way I handled it all, and slowly, peace returned. Months later, she reached out. Her messages were full of apologies, regrets, desperate pleas for another chance. I never answered. For me, revenge wasn't about shouting or violence. It was about letting her drown in the mess she created while I stood free. And whenever I remember her vicious laughter that night, I smile. Not because it hurt, but because it sparked the fire of my revenge, a fire that consumed her world to ashes while I walked away victorious.